Welcome back. We're continuing our discussion about trusts with attorneys Catherine Monroe and Joel Silverman. Thanks for staying with us. Welcome back, folks. So let's talk about irrevocable trusts now. And can you talk about what that is?
An irrevocable trust is just that. You cannot revoke it. A lot of them are also unamendable and you can't modify them. But it depends on the trust document and how you write it up. So it is a separate entity, all unto itself. It has a separate tax ID number, and it is reported on a separate tax return also.
So what are the main benefits of an irrevocable trust versus a revocable trust?
So an irrevocable trust really is oftentimes utilized as an asset protection trust. Sometimes you'll hear that phrase, and it's because you're trying to either keep the assets protected from maybe yourself because you're a vulnerable person, you're in a weakened mental state or physical state. It could be to protect your children because maybe they have special needs concerns. It may be to protect a spouse who needs Medicaid benefits, or even yourself for Medicaid benefits, but it's really all about preventing those assets from being squandered or withered away and protecting whoever the beneficiary is.
Excellent. So when would you advise a client to set up an irrevocable trust?
We would set up irrevocable trust if the client, as Joel had said, has a tax problem with the estate tax. And so we would set that up. We also will set up an irrevocable trust if they have if they're going to have a tax problem and need to pay the taxes. We can help set up something that will hold life insurance and help pay those taxes if they're due. The other reason that we would use them is Medicaid planning. And you have your special needs trusts and your special treatment trusts, and those are all irrevocable, and they keep the beneficiary from losing their government benefits. So the very terms of the trust helps them out and keeps them on government benefits. The main thing is if you have an irrevocable trust, you're going to lose some control of those assets. But as Joel said, they also come out of the estate.
Makes sense. So are there times when a irrevocable trust can be revoked or canceled?
There are. It's very rare. We've only had a couple examples in our practice where we've run into that, but you basically have to go get approval from the court.
I see.
And so the court acts as the overseer of irrevocable trusts, and you have to, almost in all cases, get all the beneficiaries to agree to amending that irrevocable trust or terminating it. And more often than not, the reason you do that is because really the trust is too small. It's a cost savings measure, if you will, to keep the assets for the family.
What happens if the beneficiary of an irrevocable trust passes away?
It will depend on the trust document itself. Usually you don't have just one beneficiary, so it would go to the others, and the proportions it would go would depend on the document itself, how it was drafted.
So the trust we discussed today can't be set up without legal consultation, obviously. What's the average cost to set up one of these trusts?
Well, the costs vary greatly. It depends on how much you have in assets, how complicated your family situation is. The very aspects of your family really dictate kind of how much work we're going to have into it. But you'd be looking at starting at least $3,000 and then going on up from there.
Okay. And if someone can't afford an attorney, are there free services available?
You can go online to the American Bar Association or the State Bar Association to find out who would be able to help you or what assets or resources are available through them. The court system also has some information, not necessarily on trusts, but for probates and other actions that you may need to take. And there was a third one. You can check with legal services. They will help people that can't afford it to do estate planning and work with them.
So there's obviously a lot of different aspects to everything that we're talking about, and the average person obviously may not know exactly what direction they want to go. They may not know exactly, might know some of the terminology. So really they would come in and sit down with legal counsel and discuss their personal situation with counsel, and then obviously go from there, and you all would, give recommendations on options. Is that how that works?
It is how it works, and when considering whether or not you need a trust, the beauty of a trust is a flexibility, and we recommend trusts if you have a minor child or children that you need to take care of for some time. If you have a disabled child who is never going to be able to work or live alone, then you probably want a trust. If you have a child who is fiscally irresponsible, either because they just don't know how to handle money or they're into drugs or alcohol, you can set it up to protect them from wasting the estate. I like them for blended families. A blended family, his, mine, and ours. And so if you want to take care of your spouse, but you also want your children to receive a big benefit, you can set up a trust and split it out to take care of them. And the last one is committed couples. Couples who are living together, committed to each other, but they just haven't gotten married. And so you can take care of that person through the use of a trust.
Joel, do you have any parting thoughts that you want to drive home with our viewers about all the info we've shared today?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is that it's really just hyper important that we get our estate plans done.
Yes.
Because without it, we put in so much effort into creating what we've done during life, and it can all go wrong if we don't put together a good plan. We can negatively affect our children. We may want to impact our community with our estate, and we can't do that if we don't put a good plan together.
Thank you. I want to thank both of you. This has been a great topic to discuss today, and you've shared a lot of great information. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for having us,
Thank you.
Lisa.
Thank you for tuning in to today's show. Be sure to come back next week. Until then, stay fit, stay well, and stay healthy for life with Healthy Living for Life.
Healthy Living for Life is brought to you by Mountain Pacific Quality Health. We'd love to hear from you. If you have suggestions for future programs, visit our website at mpqhf.org or call us at 406-443-4020. You can also catch us on YouTube by visiting our website and clicking on the YouTube icon. Special thanks to Fire Tower Coffee House and Roasters. Production facilities provided by Video Express Productions.